Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Beryl Flynn has been made particularly angry by things that have been happening. He got on his hind legs today and he moaned and shouted across at Rishi Sunak and accused Rishi Sunak of accepting money from an odious person, someone who said some very nasty things about Diane Abbott. He said things that a lot of people probably agree with, but I think perhaps he shouldn't have said it in the way he has, and I think it is undoubted that the man got it wrong. However, this man, his name is Frank Hester. He donated £10 million to the Tory party, and Flynn is saying that the Tories should hand it back. Now, I think he's only saying that because he's really, really jealous that the Tories have got so much money, because his party, of course, are more or less bankrupt financially. If not morally, and they're definitely morally bankrupt. And so he's been shouting out, saying, "Oh, you should hand it back. This man's terrible. It's terrible." And I think that's all very fine and well, Beryl. But your party has been handing money out to prescribed organisations. Simply accepting money from a man who subsequently said something is one thing, but actively handing money out to people who are on a list of, problematic people. You're not so bally angry there, are you? Oh no, that's got to be quietly swept under the carpet and ignored. The fact that you're funding these people. So you go on the attack and you have a go at the Tories. Because addressing your own issues is hard, isn't it? Let's take a look and see why he is on his hind legs and yapping like a small dog. Here goes. So Stephen Flynn accuses Rishi Sunak of putting money before morals over racist £10 million Tory donor, or Tony Dora, I don't know, but Tory donor. The SNP Westminster leader said the comments made by Frank Hester were rude, racist, odious and downright bloody dangerous. Now, for those who don't know, Hester said that Diane Abbott annoyed him. Diane Abbott infuriated him. He said, for some reason, he says, and he knows he shouldn't have said it, and he knows it doesn't really apply. And I don't think that Hester is actually racist. But what he said was that after seeing Diane Abbott and hearing her and hearing the things she says and the way she says them, it makes him want to hate every black woman. Now, I don't think it's him being racist against black women. I think it is simply that he hates Diane Abbott so much, as indeed do many people, that it makes his hate for her translate to others. And I don't think he means it literally. I just think he said it off the cuff. He's apologised for it. That's fair enough. We all open our mouths occasionally and say and do things. We do. And then you apologise. And then you move on because, we're not assholes. People make mistakes. You move on. We've all done it. But anyway, Flynn has got on his hind legs, and of course he's on his high horse now, and it's a very dangerous place to be. Is on your hind horse, on your hind legs, on your high horse, because it's a long way down, especially given the financial, chicanery of the SNP. I mean, he's saying about this, that, and the other. He's, remember, the party that stole £600,000 from donors to spend on other things, even though they lied and said it was ring-fenced for the referendum. He's a party that's giving millions, well, if not millions, but £750,000, allegedly, to Hamas. He's the party that's wasting money left, right and centre. He's the money that's getting money from Parliament to give to businesses, and then they're not giving it to businesses. So to sit there and start holding court and pontificating on what others do with their money, when what the SNP does with their money and other people's money is particularly egregious, really, isn't it? It's an egregious thing to do. Flynn is a hypocrite. Flynn is a fool, and Flynn needs to sit down, shut up, and not go on to say the things he says, because it doesn't half make him look absolutely ridiculous. That and the fact that he does look absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, Hester is alleged to have said Diane Abbott, Britain's longest-serving black MP, made him want to hate all black women, and he said that she should be shot. Now, I think she should no longer be an MP. I think she's an odious, and she's racist, of course. She said black women make better mothers than white women, and you can tell that that's absolutely true. It is if you want your child to grow up to become, say, a criminal. Because Diane Abbott, whilst boasting that she's Labour through and through, works for the working class, sent her child to a public school. Apparently, that's better because she was in the position she needed to do it. Yes, it was very difficult for her. She needed to send her son to a black school, not to a black school, sorry, to a public school, and that's all very fine and pleasant. I don't have a problem if you've got the money. Pay for a good education. Don't blame you. Don't blame you, love. Goes to show how bad public school education is, because he came out after getting his public school education and went on to become a drug dealer and a drug importer and smuggler. So it goes to show, doesn't matter what goes in, does it? It's where you come from, isn't it, Diane? You're a good mother. Your son's a drug dealer. So she's hardly someone you hold up to the light and say, oh, she's a wonderful person. She's anti-white, she's anti-working class, and she's as thick as mince. And she raises a drug dealer. Marvellous woman. Anyway, Sunak initially only said the comments were wrong but not racist, and he eventually said they were racist after Business Secretary Kemi Badenoch did so too. A Tory minister said the party would not give the donations back to Hester and that the party could take money from him in the future. Hester has only apologised for being rude, not for being racist. In his mind, he was not racist. He was telling the truth. Now, I've got to be honest, Diane Abbott annoys the hell out of me. I'm sure Diane Abbott annoys the hell out of everyone. She's so useless at her job, and I dislike her for her racism. Anyway, Flynn said in the House of Commons on Wednesday the Conservative Party have accepted a £10 million donation from an individual who has said that one of our parliamentary colleagues in this chamber should be shot. Why is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom putting money before morals? Well, why are you handing money to terrorists, Mr. Flynn? It's an interesting question. Which is worse? Get off your high horse, you arsehole. Going to finish there. Come up, we'll finish. Done. What I didn't mention in the piece just then, and I kept it to the end deliberately, is that the other side of the coin is summed up in 3 words. And I'm just going to say white, white, white. So it's, I think, perfectly acceptable for Rishi Sunak, who's non-white, to accept money from a man who is annoyed by Diane Abbott and who opened his mouth accidentally. What I don't find acceptable, though, is for someone like Stephen Flynn to sit there and serve a man who is outright racist, who outright dislikes whites, who outright, well, unless he's shagging them, of course, but who is outright completely racist when he stands there and says and bemoans that all these jobs are held by white people. White, white, white. Go on, Mr. Flynn. Tell me you aren't going to serve him. Tell me you're going to quit unless Humza Yousaf stands down for his racist views. Otherwise, sit down, shut up, and stop being a complete arse of yourself. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. We all know that the hypocrisy in the SNP is strong and it's not going to go away, is it? Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.